and it looks like it's working. it's,
On
it's
Facebook.
working. It's working.
There we
We're
go.
live on Facebook. Harrison, how are you
Yeah,
today?
I'm doing sensational, terrific, amazing, phenomenal, outstanding, incredible, awesome, turned on, tuned up, tweaked, happy, authentic, resplendent, opulent, and wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, does he not have bars? You just broke the internet right now, bro.
Yo, hit it big, hit it big.
So tell them
Tell
you
them
got a lot of
what.
good stuff going on right now, man. Tell them who you are and why you're here and the blessings and the love that you give the planet. You're amazing.
All right, I was born with a mission. The mission is to help shine the light of well-being on other people, and in communities and in the world, basically. And it's about happiness. It's about love. It's about connecting with all human beings, and it's about how do we elevate? How do we experience ourselves at the higher levels of consciousness? Everybody goes through stages of development. It's just part of being alive. But the thing is, most of us oftentimes get stuck along the way because we don't have the right information, we don't have the right connections, we don't have the right self-image and the right identity. So we fall into ruts and we get stuck and we kind of play and plateau. So the thing that I do is I help break those stuck areas. I help transcend the plateaus. I help getting into the place where there's a momentum and a trajectory of where you want to go. And I use a process called quantum neurogenesis, which is 43 years of my experience put together, combined into basically one process. It's a system, 7-step system that takes you into awareness or enlightenment. And of course, enlightenment always is positive for whatever you want to have happen in the world. It keeps you focused. It keeps you in the now. It keeps you directly moving toward wherever you want to go, and ultimately gives you joy in the process. So it works with the quantum field, and if anybody is interested in knowing about the quantum field is the space from which all things emerge. And when you know how things emerge from the nothingness, from the 0 point field, at that point you get this amazing sense of power and involvement in the universe, and you start to become the power that exists using source moving through you, because basically source just is enjoying himself through us. So, and that's what quantum neurogenesis is. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's just beautiful. Like, what inspired you to really see that?
Well, I had a mystical experience when I was 28 that, I was pretty isolated. I was a social outcast for a lot of years. I was shut down because I came from Holocaust parents and were in survival mode. And nobody is creative in survival mode. It's all about reactionary situations. And I wanted to express myself, and I was I spent 28 years examining myself, trying to find out why I was so sad and why I was so angry. And and then one day, without warning, boom, I had this mystical experience, and suddenly I woke up, as a different human being. And from that moment on, I never had the same experience in life about anything. So my awareness was great. My conditions were changed. My life was much more focused, and I became the nothing and the somebodyness at the same time. So we live on multiple planes of existence, and so I became those two planes of existence in simultaneity. Whereas most people are focused in one plane of existence. We all live on multi dimensions, but most of us are only focused on one. So I started to be able to focus on two, and then on three, and then on four, and other planes of dimensions, and that's what brought me to the place I'm in now. So yeah, it's good.
And and your soul, just your presence, like even like when we're sitting at the table, you're just, I can just feel it. It's just so much calm and peace.
It's, you know what it is? It's not common peace, it's fun.
Fair enough.
I just enjoy being in the fun portion of everything, you know? So,
Yeah, yeah.
so when you're focused on that, you're having a good time and you are peaceful because there's no resistance and there's no turmoil in you. And when you're focused on fun, you know, you create. You're in the moment and you're living the dream really because there's no more power than being in the now. Everything exists right now. It doesn't exist in the future or in the past, and I don't spend very much time in those two areas, basically. Sometimes I think about them, but I'm in the now when I'm thinking about them.
Mm, makes sense.
Yeah,
Wow. And you also have an upcoming event coming up, right?
I do. I have an upcoming event Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. It is the whole quantum neurogenesis system. And that system basically is, you know, 7 steps to enlightenment in 7 days. So, or something like that. And if you guys are interested in that, I think the website is go dot I-A-M Harrison Klein, Harrison, Klein. I'm a combination of Harrison Ford and Calvin Klein, and .com. So it's go.im.harrisonklein.com. And that takes you to the registration, and you know we're going to have some fun. We're going to give some stuff away. It doesn't take you to the registration. Oh,
Yeah.
well, then I don't know where the registration.
Well, let's find it because I would be a terrible marketer and advertiser if I didn't share my screen
Okay,
so we could take a look at it.
give me a
That's
second
why I
then.
double checked.
Okay, so Marbeth double checked, and that's not there anymore. So let me take another one. Um, okay, well that's my.
For the product.
That's for the product. Okay, so I have, yeah, go I am Harrison. So that turns into the product. Let's go to the other one. Um,
You give me the link, I'll check it out.
she's checking it out right now.
You
But
have to give me the link and then I will.
I'm giving you the link, sweetie. Hold on. Well, that's what I have. I have the Go thing.
No, it was a different, it was the link to the product we used last time. I don't know what the link is for your webinar.
The webinar link is yeah, that one with webinar on the end. So let me go back. I'll find it right here. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Is that going to be in Messenger or on WhatsApp?
It's on WhatsApp from Shubham. So, that'll register you for the webinar, sweetie. That'll register you for the webinar.
I don't think so. The link that he had before was for the one that you did at the event, which is not the same experience.
Mm, shit.
Can you send him the link after?
Can I send you the link afterwards, Fred?
Sure. Yeah, we'd be more than happy to do that. I can repost it. That'll be good.
This is, you know, because it's not coming up easy. Yeah, so that's what I have on my Facebook page. So it is go I am.
I'll check your Facebook page real quick. If I can find it there, then I'll just drop it down real quick. All right. This is why I like doing this in real time as well, because sometimes dead air in our world is good. You just focus.
He should have done it in MailChimp. So let me see if I can find it.
So I'm there right now. Register. Oh,
So,
okay, I got it. I go.iamharrisonklein.com/webinar.
yeah,
So when I go to click over there,
yeah, /webinar, yeah.
That was what it was missing.
okay. So it looks like it's pulling up, and then when it does, I will go ahead and share my screen. There you go. Looking very dapper.
Oh, there is the dapper
He's
element.
very dapper.
That is my dapper element. That's the Sean Connery look that I have.
Yeah, super debonair, man. I'm just like I'm broken right now. I don't have anything like this.
Well, a white jacket ain't that hard to come by.
I just got mine dry cleaned. It's funny you say that. I got my white one and my seersucker.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay.
So free training reveals how you can fire up your consciousness, release your blocks without the difficulty of emotional stress and long-term struggle in less than 7 days without having to change a single major thing in your life. What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
No, what do you mean?
And not only that, but I can release if you have a fear or you have a block, I can release that in 90 seconds or less. That's a pretty big tall order in people who want fast results. We can release 90 seconds.
Yeah, you're about this. Yeah, yeah, you literally can snap their neck. So then you have your video here. I call you're the consciousness chiropractor to me. You're just like dope, bro. You just adjust them.
Bam, bam. You're right there.
All the way down to you looking over your nose with your glasses. So
Yeah.
learn how my students have generated over 150 million in the past 18 years. Now, can you please name drop some of these if you want? I mean, because some people need to understand the magnitude of who they're talking to, because you're like the coaches of the coaches coach, and people didn't think that exists. I'm like, yeah, they actually do.
Well, I've worked with all the people from The Secret, if you know The Secret. Of the 19 people that were on The Secret, 13 of them were my friends. About 9 of them I've worked with back and forth in multiple different projects, and some of them I've mentored, some of them they've mentored me, and it's been just an extraordinary trip, I guess. Coming from where I came, it seems like a long distance that I've traveled. So,
Yeah, yeah, you're so amazing, and that's what I was saying. Like a lot of our roads has started to connect when the more we started talking, so it's pretty cool.
yeah.
And that's what makes this lane really interesting, because I didn't realize like just how amazing everybody is, and everybody wants to help, and it's just like so much like, hey, it really is a big deal.
And the higher you go in your consciousness and your abilities, basically, the nicer everybody gets. Not the more, not the meaner and not the more competitive and not the more condescending. Actually, people get nicer the higher you go. And
Mm,
if they're in the creative, there's two planes of existence. There's the competitive plane, and then there is the creative plane. And if you live in the competitive plane, you kind of ascend by beating somebody. If you live in the creative plane, you hold the ladder for everybody to climb up with you or
mm,
behind you, right? So,
mm.
when you're living in the competitive plane, if you get to a specific height, you throw the ladder down so nobody can follow you up.
Yeah, and it's so funny you say that too, because I've played both sides, and it's just like I don't like the competitive lane. It sucks. I think sometimes you need to have a little bit of a rub, in order to like stay active, because again, if you don't continue to practice, at least for me, things, your gifts start atrophying. But
Yeah.
and that's what we're talking about earlier before we got on here. And it's just like I want my talents and my skills and my abilities to still be just as good, if not better, because I have more consciousness, like I'm more aware, like I'm more intentional, all that kind of stuff.
In the competitive plane, you are basically motivated to get stuff done. In the creative plane, you're inspired, and there's a humongous difference between the two. When you're inspired, you're in love with what you do. In the competitive plane, you are pushing your way through. You're full of effort. So,
Mm,
you know,
that was totally brilliant.
and when you're not full of effort, you're enjoying every single moment that you're in. And when you're enjoying every single moment, you are much more creative, you get much more done, you have much more fun, and you get better results. because you love in what you do, and people get that. They get it telepathically, they get it, physically, they get it in every way by conviction and everything else. So it becomes a real connection. And then your influence goes out. You move into the seventh plane of abilities, and you have influence, and you have influence in a way that that is way beyond your immediate connection. So it's like somebody who writes a book. He sells 25,000 copies. He maybe knows 1,000 people, and so 24,000 of those people whose lives he's touched without ever having met them, without ever having any connection with them or anything else. His work goes out. Picasso does a painting and it circulates to 250 million people. He's maybe met 500 of those people. And 250 million people see his work, are influenced by it. They feel his energy. They experience the mentality and the connection and the creativity and the ability and the sweetness of his emotions in the process.
Oh man, that was just so poetic. Oh,
I'm a poet.
and you know it. You come over,
and I know it.
you come over here dropping them battle bars like that, man. You're like, bam, like, whoa, let's go.
Damn, baby. What'd you do to your hair?
Yes, and I look forward to consuming your stuff as well. And I know that we had talked on the boat as far as like I also owe you Thought Leader Academy. So, bro, you're so amazing, so next level.
You're amazing.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
You're amazing. You.
And you.
And you. And you.
Yep. Much love, y'all. That's how we do it. Pew, 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 pew.
That's how we do
your
it.
mind.
If you guys have enjoyed this interview, baby, come on to this course Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be fun. You're going to learn some shit. I guarantee you're not going to learn anywhere else, and you're going to have a real anchor to move yourself into higher consciousness, better emotional stability, well-being. And I want you to understand that when I teach people, our teaching is not to get to a place of well-being. That's the prerequisite before you even start. So once we start, that's where we start from, this place of well-being, and then we just go up.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey, Harrison, stay on. Much love to y'all, and we will chat soon. And my challenge to you is just take one of these nuggets that Harrison has dropped, and then just drop in the comments exactly what your takeaway was. I really want to
one nugget at a time, baby.
One nugget at a time.
You know what McDonald's said? One nugget at a time.
I absolutely love you, brother. All right, so we're out. Much love. We'll chat soon. Peace. And we're there. And let me go ahead and no more live. Stop.